point is, anything can happen tonight.
That's right.
It's a night of dreams.
Stevie Wonder starting off on the outside, looking for Hacksaw to give her a little bit of assistance up front.
Looks like Pussy Boots getting a nice assist from new Shevil, Hazel Rod.
Yeah, Shevil's closing ranks up front while Stevie Wonder
pulling off lead jammer, but Shevil's not making it easy for her. Unfortunately, Shevil jammer still stuck in the back. Kara, look out, failure to reform. It looks like there was a split pack there, did not get back. And so she will take the first sit in the penalty box for tonight.
and Jessie Flames is out and will put the star back on her helmet, but no time to score.
This is her first year in the big leagues.
Doesn't make me feel old at all.
Not at all.
She's taking on Jackpot.
Nice quick toe taps around the outside. Take her tantrum, the forward figure skater, showing that she's quick and light on her feet.
Jackpot turning on the afterburners now to try to catch Tinker Tantrum, but Tantrum already re-engaging with the pack and trying to get past some Rushin Rollettes that are putting on the afterburners to stay away from that jammer, but they got past the zone of engagement and had to fall back in line, and actually Skating Harry is going to spend 30 seconds in the box for not getting back to the pack fast enough. I think she may have actually engaged with the jammer.
Smartly calling off the jam, listening to her bench.
Shevil Knevils, and she is taken on, I believe that is Scully Wheeler.
You are correct.
I knew it! Scully Wheeler getting the kickball treatment in the front of the pack there, courtesy Skittle and the rest of the Shevils, but she finally gets through and will be lead jammer for the Rollettes once again. Meanwhile, Jessie Flames gets busted for a track cut, so she is going to sit for 30 seconds, and that's a power jam opportunity for Scully Wheeler, not something that the Shevils were looking for in the early goings here.
For those not in the know, when one jammer gets put in the penalty box, if it's the opposing jammer, it's in your best interest to try to slow that pack down or keep it to a standstill to let your jammer get around the track as quickly as possible. Just to score as many points as it can while it's a power jam. Steele doing a nice job of pushing out Scully Wheeler, pulling her to the back. For those, again, not in the know, and by now you should have all been here at every game and paying attention to the rules. But a jammer cannot better their position when they're knocked out of bounds. So the blocker takes her out, the opposing blocker takes her out, and then scoots to the back of the pack. She cannot enter anywhere she likes. She has to go all the way back.
That's right, otherwise, if not, she gets that 30-second cutting the track penalty, which you see when the referee forms that X signal, which is exactly what had sent Jessie Flames to the box earlier. And Scully Wheeler.
Once again, if you have any questions, you can always tweet us at AskBCB. We will do our best to answer your questions. Right now, it looks like Tinker Tantrum got lead jam for the Shevil Knevils. Again, smartly listening to her bench. Back to Jessie Flames jamming to the Shevil Knevils against Stevie Wonder. I have a feeling we're going to see these two against each other a lot today.
Stevie Wonder, your lead jammer with Jessie Flames hot on her heel, but Stevie looking for that higher guard in the pack and calls it after a point.
Every single point counts.
So the Shevil Knevils early on here, bouncing between Tinker Tantrum and Jessie Flames. Tinker now with the star. and she's up against Jackpot, who is trying to find a way on the inside, scoots to the out, and shoots past the Knevils in order to get the lead jam. Shevil pass out, he stitches at the front of the pack there, and now taking the inside lane, going to the outside, and this needs to get past Skill and Grace Kelly in order to get credit for her points she's already collected. Good job by Panzer when showing up some holes for Jackpot there in the middle of the pack, giving her a path. Now will she be able to do it again as Jackpot already re-engaging in Tinker Tantrum, really to having her issues.
Kind of owned by Karabunka in the back of the pack there.
Oh, and Tinker is in pain. She is going down, and that is going to blow. Oh, the Rushin Rollettes also rotating a small number of jammers in and out. We got Scully Wheeler back there again for the Rollettes.
I suppose when something's working well, you stick with it.
That's right.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's been Scully Wheeler, Jackpot, and Stevie Wonder so far.
Merkel doing her best to try to slow her down, but then she hits into a wall of Puss in Boots.
If you're wondering why the blockers end up having to let the jammer go eventually, there is a 20-foot zone of engagement on any side of the pack. Each of those little hash marks in the track represents 10 feet. If you get 2 of those hash marks away from the pack, you're not allowed to touch the jammer and you have to let him go. Otherwise, you can sit 30 seconds in the box.
And we haven't seen too much of it yet, but the only 2 people that can engage outside that zone are the 2 jammers.
That's right.
A little jammer on jammer action. I look forward to seeing that. But right now, our jammers are really getting beat up at the pack. A lot of aggressive play by both teams, despite the differential in the score. Nice little 2-foot squeak on the outside by Scully Wheeler.
Yeah, she squeezed right past Milwaukee's Breast, who was straddling the out-of-bounds marker on the outside herself.
Right now, the Shevil seem to be a little more focused on the offense, trying to help their jammers, their struggling jammers through. And unfortunately, that leaves the Rollettes to kind of rack up the points.
Illegal back block by Jessie Flames, and she has taken another 30-second timeout as, more time for the Rushin Rollettes to pile it on here as they look to make it a second consecutive championship appearance next month if this holds sway. But it's super early. We're only 10 minutes in.
Everybody starting up on the pivot line. You can see the Rollettes trying to hold back, get that split pack pull, because then they'll have to let her go.
And Stryker is going to go to the penalty box for intentional destruction of the pack. When the refs tell you to reform the pack, they have to catch back up with the other team, and they didn't do it fast enough, so Stryker will take the penalty. Meanwhile, Insane Clown takes the jammer stop for her team. It gets passed to her from the original jammer, which I believe was Jessie Flames, coming out of the penalty box.
His injury.
And so she got actually called for delay of game, and
unfortunately, and then they put Grace Kelly is actually sitting and taking that penalty for her.
Correct. So Merkel out there now jamming for the Shevils, but no chance of scoring points as Stevie Wonder picks up a quick 4.
Tinker Tantrum taking that star again against Jackpot for the Rushin Rollettes. Getting into a wall of Becky the Butcher and Puss in Boots. Meanwhile, Shaq has got Tinker home in the back.
And it's Cherry, Cherry, Cherry with a winning pull. It's Jackpot, your lead jammer. Tinker Tantrum also out of the pack, looking for an opportunity to put something up there for the Shevils, but nothing doing as Jack. Oh, and a great outside block. That was Hazel Raw, one of the new Shevils, pushing everybody This is the first lead jammer action for the Shevil Knevils, and she calls it off after picking up 2.
They can throw down on the board. It is very difficult, speaking as a former player, when you look up and see that kind of deficit. You know, morale can get low. So having, you know, your audience behind you, your fans behind you makes a world of difference. You see every jam as a new opportunity for just, it's a separate game. You want to win each jam as its own. Forget what happened in the past. Oh, nice move on the inside by Maven. Thought she was a little close to the line, but...
Remember when Maven took out The Undertaker?
I believe that was a different Maven.
Are you sure?
Almost positive. This one's much cuter, though.
It's fair.
Tinker trying to do a little bit of an apex jump, but unfortunately running into the hips of the Rushin Rollettes.
And the Rollettes just have Tinker Tantrum on lockdown right now. Grace Tilly.
Well, and again, when you're thinking about the Rollettes, one of the things that we talked about this season is that the Rollettes have so much depth.
Jessie Flames out and trying to score points right now, but Stevie Wonder hearing the yell from her bench to call it off.
But I'll tell you, one of the great things about being a bench coach is a voice that can cut through the crowd. And the Shevil Knevils have a native here, and the Rollettes have Tila, both of them.
All aboard the Dark Carnival, Shevil fans, it's Insane Cloud! Jammer, how does it work? Rushin Rollettes trying to put on the afterburners and keep that back going really quickly. And after forcing... Now we probably won't be seeing her jam as much as we would normally see her and as much as we would like to see her because of that shoulder, but she's still able to go out there and skate hard. But right now, Scully Wheeler is your lead jammer for the Rollettes. For an extended period and engaging out of bounds, I believe. So,
and maybe this is a good time to point out that little blue line right in front of you. That little blue line is the end of the demarcation of that penalty box. She passed that line, turned around and came back. And our officials said, no, take that lap. You must go all the way back around before you can sit.
And that's important because your 30 seconds of penalty time does not begin until you actually sit in that box. So Scully Wheeler was basically out of the bout for an extra lap, or an extra 5 seconds.
Yeah, she's fast. It wasn't that long.
Yeah.
Nice footwork by Skittle.
Now this is an opportunity for the Shevils to make up some of that deficit here. Oh, a little nice little hop and a misdirection there for Skittle as she gets through it, picks up another 5-point grand slam. Scully Wheeler though back on the track. And Scully Wheeler, mind you, was the lead jammer before she went into the penalty box, so Skittle not able to call off the jam. But neither is Scully Wheeler because you abdicate that lead jammer position once you commit a penalty.
And then the jam goes that full 2 minutes.
All Scully Wheeler catching the Shevil snapping. Every Shevil Knevil head was turned to their right.
To be offensive, helping Skittle through.
I think maybe tag is kind of simultaneously offensive defense, but that's the only other one I can think of.
Jessie Flames for the Shevil Knevils versus Maven for the Rollettes. Looks like Mother Tucker is going to get pulled out right away. Not sure
she immediately calls it off. You'll see that happen if there's... Tinker tantrum trying to push the Rollettes out of play, having to deal with Striker and Irish Vixen, who are quite formidable two-ball if you run into them.
I recognize that move from her figure skating days. She tried to do a wolf jump around the outside corner. Did not, unfortunately, work. Puss in Boots doing a great job of knocking out Scully Wheeler, pulling her to the back of the pack. There's nothing like being a jammer, getting near to the front, and then getting sucked all the way back to the rear. Medusa doing what she can to slow down this Stevie Wonder.
Scully Wheeler, that was her initial pass. And she is not the lead.
Shevil with another star pass.
Yeah, that's insane. Tom taking the star again. If you're the pivot of your team, you've got that jammer covering with the stripe, you are allowed to take the star from the jammer, and then you are the skater responsible for scoring points. Insane Clown there with a track cut is gonna sit after knocking down Striker, but a big power jam opportunity for Stevie Wonder to again really pour it on here, as they have already hit the century mark, and the Shevils still have to hit 30.
And St. Clown was again really focusing on the blocking, just that left foot, just a slight over that inside line, just enough to be considered a track cut.
Stevie Wonder gets caught with a track cut as well. Gets nudged out of bounds and goes back in front of someone who was behind her before, or in front of her before, rather. So now it's an opportunity for Insane Clown and the Shevils to potentially, they will get to start this next jam a track cut.
As you said, the referees do a great job, but it's always within the mind's eye. It's considered the field of play. We have no instant replay in Derby.
But still, a power jam opportunity here for Skittle, as she has some penalty time here to try and get lead. And to see the Shevil Knevils hanging back.
Trying to get that out of play call.
Which eventually did happen. Eventually Skittle forced the Rollettes to a point where they were 20 feet away from the pack, and they had to let Skittle go. And now Skittle is able to score points, and does with a 5-point grand slam pass.
Some nice work by Hazel Raw in the pack, directing the Shevil Knevils. Again, she's new to the Shevils, but not new to Derby. It's always good to have those veteran players come and shore up the teams.
And Skittle finally calls it off.
With the lone jammer on the track, Stevie Wonder still in the box for that secondary track cut. Nice work with the Shevils opening up that outside line. And once again, Shevils trying to keep the pack from moving. The less the pack moves around the track, the easier it is for Jessie Flames to score some points. And now keep in mind that 5 is because Stevie Wonder was in the pack, so they got that jammer point grand slam.
And Stevie Wonder rockets right through off the box. She's through her initial pass, but very smartly, Jessie Flames calls it off after a fork.
To happen. Absolutely. I want to say we've seen games come from deficits of 60, 70 points, where you thought one team was completely out of it. Regroup and come back to attack.
I want to say that too, so I will.
Puss in Boots doing a great job holding Striker back.
Oh, and a track cut again. That's Tinker Tantrum.
But it looks like we are going to have double trouble in the penalty box. Now, normally penalties are 30 seconds long, but you'll see right now, Tinker Tantrum first to the box. She sat until the second jammer sat. The second jammer sits for as long as the first jammer sat, and then is immediately released. That's the only time you're going to see penalties last less than 30 seconds. Because who wants to watch Derby without jammers.
I remember the first couple years of Varsity Boosters Roller Derby, the WFTDA rules had not figured out yet how to address double jammer penalties, and we would occasionally see situations where we would have two jammers in the penalty box and we just have blockers skating around the track, which, I mean, skating's fun, but I like the way the rules are set up now.
Absolutely. A lot of good work in the back by the Shevil Knevils, opening up some holes. Tinker Tantrum having no trouble at all for that last pass.
And meanwhile, the Shevils are starting to close it down in the pack here. Scully Wheeler having a lot of issues with Grace Killy, Puss in Boots, Insane Clown, and Medusa Silvestre up front. And now Medusa opening up a lane for Tinker Tantrum, but Striker closes it shut. And Scully Wheeler bounced out of the pack with a 4-point pickup, and that is going to call things off. Skittle trying to find an opening, almost loses her balance thanks to Raina Main, but she is still on her feet. However, it's Maven out front for the Rushin Rollettes as lead jammer.
Skittle doing her best up front, but Carabunga, she's captain for a reason.
Alex, Twin Peaks, Lavity Jane, Rec Support, Rodney Blind, Pink Austin, Wreck the disposable ref in the penalty box. Swilham, Bajuju, and Ryan handling the scoreboard and the scorekeeping. Red Pirate Roberts and Mustachio tracking the lineups, and our very own engine nerd as the lineup spotter and alternate NSO.
Meanwhile, back on the track, a little jammer action. Jesse Flames smiling, calling off the jam.
But as we keep saying, we've seen stranger things happen. Right now it's Jackpot taking on Tinker Tantrum. Both jammers trying to find some sort of opening against their opponents. And it looks like Jackpot finally gets up far enough in front of the pack that the Shevils have to let her go and fall back into the body of the pack.
And I'll say there was a lot of great teamwork by the Shevils up at the front of the pack. They held it for quite some time. Unfortunately, Tinker just could not get through the wall of green at the back.
And Jackpot will take 2 and Scully Wheeler for the Rushin Rollettes. Lots of congestion in the middle of that pack right now. A multi-player block called on I Destroyer. You get that?
Once again, Skittle not just the experience of the Rollettes coming across in the first half. Once again, so much depth for the Rollettes. Not one rookie on the team this year. Everyone returning from last season.
Oh, and a back block for Maven. Rollettes fans, show some team a little support because right now it's all about the Shevil Knevils and Jesse Flames with power jam advantage right now for 30 seconds. Oh, and Jesse Flames. All right, so to reset, there is still penalty time being served by Maven in the penalty box.
Tinker Tantrum from the Shevil Knevils, getting that point from Machete Holiday, signifying lead jammer. With a hop, skip, and a jump, right over that inside apex. Tinker Tantrum scoring a grand slam for the Shevil Knevils.
Maven back on the track through an initial pass, not a scoring one, but Tinker Tantrum will not give her that chance.
There was not a lot of equipment that was developed specifically for Derby. Nice inside line.